We're live. We're on. We're doing a news show. Good day. It's only 83 degrees here in Florida right now. It's remarkable. It was 94 yesterday. I'm very excited for that. Not really. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm in the middle of a move. Moving our main base of operations out of our Florida house and into our Michigan house, just to be a little closer to some of my clients. And yeah, I chose the month of June to move. It's all right. I like the heat. That's what I know. I can handle it better than most. So while it's going to be hot, it'll be fine. We'll enjoy it. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having as good a day as I am. Woke up feeling good. Got a bit of a problem, troubleshoot, figured out. That always makes you feel good, especially a technology problem, because that's what we do. We fix technology problems. And I was able to get to the bottom of one. I got the team working on the fix, the permanent fix. It's temporary. I found the problem, but I haven't implemented the true fix yet. That's called leadership. Anyway, you guys aren't here for me to talk about what's going on in my life. You're here to get some news. And that's what I'm going to get you. Some real, true, nerdy news. Run your business better. But first, our salute to our small business owners and all their employees. We love you. Thank you. On to the news. First article from Bleeping Computer. It's amazing how many Bleeping Computer articles show up. I never read Bleeping Computer. I may have to start doing that. May have to just start reading it. FBI, a ransomware gang actively hitting small manufacturers right now. So this is going on right now. FBI Cyber Division dropped an update flash alert on the 2nd, warning that a ransomware group called FOG is actively scanning for and attacking small manufacturers and industrial service companies with exposed RDP, or remote desktop protocol ports. So far, at least 47 small manufacturers were successfully hit in May alone. That's 47. And they're doing the same old thing as always, stealing the data, ransoming it, and selling it. Bad, 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 especially if you're in Defense Department work. The FOG group's deliberate pivot to small manufacturers signals that threat actors are now see sub 100 employee shops as easier, lower risk targets. Yeah, less IT oversight, unless you're with Advanced Computer Solutions. So I have a story. One of the worst ransomware situations I ever saw was a customer. Well, they weren't a customer at the time. A friend of mine's company that had an open RDP port. The bad guys got in. The bad guys stole all the data and then ransomed the data. So they encrypted it, made it so you couldn't use it. And this would have pretty much put this company out of business if they didn't have their backups, which they did have, but the ransomware company was encrypting the backup. So they got back to the last absolute backup available before they finally called us and said, oh boy, we need help. We were able to grab that computer, wipe it clean, do a restore, get them back in business. But they were one insert of a backup drive away from losing everything. So if you're not an ACS client and you're afraid about this happening, what can you do about it? Well, you can contact your IT person, find out if port 3389 is open on your firewall to your server for you to get in and be able to do remote desktop work. You should not be doing that. There are 1.2 trillion other ways of doing it that are secure. I'm surprised, I'm flabbergasted that there are 47 small manufacturers that got hit in May, because this has been a problem that should have been fixed decades ago. You need real IT if this is happening to you. Our second article is Patch Tuesday fixes that broken printer bug. I think we mentioned this. But the patch that went out, I guess today, usually I think they happen either Tuesday night or you wake up Tuesday morning. I forget. But the patches went out or are going out on the 3rd, which is today. A targeted fix for widely reported, deeply frustrating bug that broke WSD. So WSD stands for Web Services for Devices, and it's what makes it easy to add a printer. Now, I will say, easy to add a printer is like military intelligence. It's an oxymoron. All printers are hard, no matter what. They always break, no matter what. But to have Microsoft introduce a bug that makes it even harder and makes it break even more is not cool. But so they got this patch. Now here's the caveat. Microsoft apparently has set it up so that certain printers are going to require another tweak to your registry. I think I'll find that part here. Let's see. Bug affected 12% of all Windows deployments. It wasn't a fringe issue. Word printers, disappearing affect small offices. Shared printer. Yeah. Well, this particular article doesn't mention it, but I do believe there's another thing that you might have to. A registry edit. The manual registry edit requires a real issue. So if your WSD is working or it's not working after this patch, then there's probably a registry edit that needs to happen, which isn't cool. But it's what we do. It's what we deal with. So yeah, if you go to add printers, it should be working now. At least 12% of them that didn't work before. You should really keep all your printers. Everything should be up to date, right? Software-wise, and we can't avoid the Microsoft patching because that is the #1 thing we have to do to protect you. So it breaks printers. Third news article. The FTC Click to Cancel rule kicks in August 1st. So the FTC confirmed on June 2nd that enforcement of its updated Click to Cancel rule, part of the broader negative option rule, will officially begin in August 1st. So we got, what, 2 months? SaaS vendors have to get compliant. So if you have a piece of software where you can click to join, it needs to be just as easy to click to get out. You don't have to make phone calls or send emails or whatever hoops they make you go through. If you do it, it's not that simple. If it's not as simple to sign up, let's put it this way. If it's so simple to sign up, it needs to be just as simple to cancel. That's what the FTC is saying. It's a bummer that we have to have the government come in and regulate us like this. The market should take care of this, but there it is. I don't know. This is good for you. This is probably good for us as consumers. It's going to make it a little easier to cancel stuff. Google cuts. Our next news article is Google cuts Gemini's 2.5 Pro API price 30%. So I don't use Google's Gemini at all for lots of reasons, but primarily because I just haven't needed to. It would just be another layer of stuff I'd have to deal with. But a 30% price cut is substantial. And it's funny because everybody's talking about how expensive this stuff is, and it's getting more expensive. And so apparently there's enough competition out there that these guys are still lowering prices, even though they're not making any money yet. API pricing has seen a steep downward curve since 2023. Each major price cut tends to trigger a wave of feature upgrades and new entrants into the market. Gemini 1.5 Pro is already widely adopted by smaller software vendors. So these, I'm not familiar with the Gemini lineup at all. I am intimately familiar with Claude. I'm intimately familiar with some of the open source, and I have worked with some Grok. But I will tell you that the older, cheaper, smaller the older and cheaper, smaller, whatever you call them, LLMs, do not do as good a job as the more expensive ones. The more expensive ones are amazing. Their ability to figure out what you're saying using colloquial language. Sometimes you can swear and it figures it out. But I find that these lower ones, like the older, cheaper, faster ones, are really only good at very specific things. Where it's like, this is, you know, the output needs to be this similar every time, and you don't have to put a lot into getting to that output. So how much does this help? I don't know. I really like working with the more advanced ones. Um, so 1.5, 2.5, 30% cheaper. So our next article, oh, that was it. That was all of our big articles. Moving right along to the quick hits then. Zoom critical vulnerability. Every Windows machine, Zoom patched a high severity privilege escalation flaw. So you don't want those. The privilege escalation flaw means that you can, with a simpler account on the computer, get to a more complex account that allows you to do more with it, which means, they're going to be able to do more with your computer, which is bad. They could use it to install more software, which really what they're going to be doing is, if with those escalated privileges, is install software and create all kinds of chaos. So get your Zoom program updated. Don't let it linger. ChatGPT team plan drops to $20 a user. We've talked about this, but we're going to keep running this theme of it's getting cheaper. QuickBooks Simple Start gets a free 90-day AI cash flow forecasting. So 90 days. Thanks, QuickBooks. Cash flow forecasting, bleh. I don't know. I've had that feature in QuickBooks forever. I always found it to be pretty worthless. They don't know. QuickBooks doesn't know when my vendors or when my customers are going to pay. But whatever. A new feature, you can give it a try with your QuickBooks Simple Start. And if you like it, you get to spend even more money with QuickBooks when the free sample runs out. All right. And that's today's show. Make sure you look at your RDP. Make sure you update your Zoom. We'll take care of your Windows update, fix your printers, but if you don't have us, you're going to have to do it yourself. Run your own Windows update. Well, I hope everybody's having a good week. We're about halfway through it. I've got somebody coming to haul my cars home to Michigan today. So that's exciting. I've never had a car hauled before. Wish me luck. They weren't the cheapest ones, but they certainly weren't the most expensive. So we'll see what we get. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.